Hey yarn friends, it's me, Kayla, and this is Django. This is Elijah's little pup. He's a little Cheweenie, and he is just shaking, because he's just scared of everything. He loves me, and he loves Elijah, and he really just wants to get behind me and drop down behind my back, and that's where he likes to get back there and sleep. Silly dog. And sometimes he'll come, and he'll climb up my leg, and he'll get back there, and he'll be laying there asleep for a long time, and like 30 minutes later, he just starts eating. So he had a mouthful of food the whole time, and then he starts eating. I'm like, what's going on? You're eating dog food? He's just silly. So anyway, today is Finish It Friday. I gotta touch the screen a minute. Oh, today's Finish It Friday. Thanks for checking in to see how my progress is going. I did finish 2 items last weekend. I started them on the Friday and finished them over the weekend. And so I'll be showing those on my projects video coming up. And today I kind of looked at my stash over there, and I didn't really want to dig too deep, so I just picked something off the top. And I picked this owl graph. You can see as a owl that's going to be on here, and I really hate that I hadn't finished this. I just kept getting distracted with other things, but I'll go ahead and finish this. Plus I need the loom to start another project, and this loom is just it's a Martha Stewart piece, and I just made this long stick, and you can see I just numbered every 10 pegs. I put a piece of tape on there and numbered them. And this actually goes on down pretty long so that I can do flat projects in a long scale. And I have 2 of these Martha Stewart looms, so I could, just make another stick, but I need to get this off the project off the loom. So that's my plans, to work on this today and over the weekend to get it done. I mean, I know in my mind I could just focus on this and get it done. So I would like to get that done because I love the project. I love the way Terry's turned out and some other people that has showed their projects. I love the way they look and how they turned out. So I'm going to get that part finished, and then I only have one more section of it to make. The next, plus I have all these yarns, attached to it, and I could use these yarns for something else. Like one day I needed some orange, and the only orange I had was on here, and I didn't want to cut it, so I just called my son up and told him on your way home, because he was in town, stop and bring me some orange home. Oh, they're real good about doing stuff like that for me. So the other project that I pulled for Finish It Friday is this bag here. Okay, that would be this hat that I had started for Dakota, and because I was making them on 41 peg, and this is a 4 waisted, it's a number 4 worsted weight, so I have to double it. So anyway, I was having to double it with the black. Well, here in Louisiana, we do have some cold weather, but it's not like freezing cold. Sometimes the temps do dip down, but they don't stay down consistently. We may have 2 days of cold, and then the next day we're running the air conditioner. So, excuse me. So we don't need super bulky, thick hats. So I think what I'm going to do is take this off the loom and make a hat with just this yarn and not doubling it with the black, and make it a different way, because Dakota would rather have a thinner hat than this that's bulky and would be too hot to wear. So I'll explain how I'm gonna do that hat, because it's gonna be a different way, not on the loom. So in the past, my light's a little bit maybe. In the past, I I get an Benlysta infusion every month for my lupus, and excuse me, and for filling out survey papers while I'm getting the treatment. A lady who comes around and does that, and I guess she works for research team, or I don't know. I don't know. I didn't ask any questions really. Anyway, I just fill out a form about how it makes me feel and how I've been feeling and have I been in the hospital and such things like that every 6 months. And so if I fill out that form every 6 months while I'm sitting there doing that already, I get a $25 Amazon card. Well, I had been getting them and just sticking them in my purse and kind of just forgetting about them. And I never used them. And I just, every time I'd get one, I'd just stick it in there. And then I realized all of a sudden that I had all these Amazon cards. And I had been wanting a Addi knitting machine. And my son Dakota, he knew that. And so when I told him like how much I had in Amazon cards, he's like, why don't you get you that knitting machine you want? And I was like, that's a great idea. And so I used those Amazon gift cards and got this knitting machine. And I loved it. I was, just have had a lot of fun with it. Some days my hands just hurt so bad that just loom knitting, just is difficult. Sometimes I just force myself to do it. But, and then I lay in the bed at night with my hands and arms just hurting really bad. But anyways, I enjoyed this, and it, just gave me, I could also create for days that I just couldn't use the looms. I could still play with yarn and do something. So I had that for a while, and I had, said that I'd eventually save up more Amazon cards and get the Addi King. But that would be a long time down the road. Because it is expensive, and we're on a tight budget. My husband has a good job, but we pay out a lot for Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, and then between my doctor visits and prescriptions and having to travel out of town for doctor visits and all the hospital stays I've had recently, and my husband has doctor visits and medicines, and he's been having physical therapy for his knee. Things are just tight, so it wasn't something that I could just go out and buy. I definitely have to save up for it, but at, $25 every 6 months, it was going to be a good while before I could get it. So, I guess you can tell where this is going. So anyway, after we had opened our Christmas gifts with each other, and it was just a very simple Christmas, where we just got each other a few little random gifts and some treats that were people's favorites. It wasn't anything anybody was like really excited about getting. I mean, when I'd asked Elijah what he wanted for Christmas, he said some 12-inch tweezers and some 12-inch scissors, and I was like, you're such a homeschooler. So that's what he got for Christmas, was tweezers and scissors and an art journal and, things like that. Just some things, socks and, things like that that I knew would make each person happy, And so after we had opened our little gifts, we were all happy and, just pleasant and everything. And then Elijah pulled out another gift that was hidden behind the tree. It was this large box. I was like, what is that? Where did that come from? And they're handing it to me, and I'm just like, what? And so they're like, it's yours, it's from us, it's for you. And I hadn't even shared that I got this for Christmas because I can't really talk about it without crying. So they handed me this large box, and so I opened it up, and when I opened that wrapping paper up, and it was an Amazon box, that I had to reopen that box, and then I saw the Addi King box, and I just busted out crying. I just couldn't believe that the boys had went in together and got me that. just touched me a lot. But anyway, so they got me this big Addi King. And, I mean, I cried and cried and cried about it. And they're like, well, go make something on it. Quit crying. And so, the next morning when I woke up and I was in the bed and I was just kind of waking up, you know, thinking about the day. And I realized, you know, oh, we opened gifts last night and they, gave me that Addi machine. I started crying again. So I can't very well use the thing without crying, but I'm gonna. It makes a nice hat, and I can make the hat on that and take it off and put it on this loom to do the brim. So that's what I'm gonna do. So it'll just be a single layer hat for Dakota, and he could get more use out of it, so it won't be as hot. But anyway, that's my 2 Friday, Finish It Friday projects. And I do have a commission this weekend. I have 3 jellyfish that I need to get done. One of them was just cotton. She wanted cotton yarn, so I went and got that this evening when Jody got home from work. And the other 2 are just can be made of acrylic. So it's 2 different people ordered these. So that's my plans for Finish It Friday, is to work on that graph and get this hat done for Dakota and work on my orders of the jellyfish. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll be back with you next week to show you a bunch of finished projects. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you later.